Maxine Ashley joins me here for Sports Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max, Live 65, iHeartRadio. You already know what it is. Somebody else available on all platforms now. Maxine Ashley, the Bronx's own. Welcome to the show. How's it going? Straight.
Good.
Are you in the BX right now?
No, I'm in LA.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
before we really get things set off here, because we look at the Bronx, we think of J Lo, we think of Fat Joe, Big Pun, KRS-One, all the legends that come out of there. Everyone has a blueprint that's made it out of there. How did the Bronx make you?
I was born there.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I was literally made there and
Yeah.
conceived there. But I mean, my attitude, the way I talk, the way I speak, I mean, I bring it everywhere with me. I literally can't escape it. It's in my DNA.
Yeah. And people have said that you're following the footsteps of J Lo. Is that kind of put a lot of pressure on you away when I read that in articles, or you just kind of look at it as, man, I got my own imprint. Stop comparing me. Let
If
me.
I'm following the footprints of J-Lo, then I don't know, then I must can't sing. I
Mm.
think I think I'm a good singer. Sorry. Who said I'm J-Lo? That's kind of weird because I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I think people have said that in articles. I read that online where they said that you're following the foot. I think it's because you're from the Bronx.
Because I'm Puerto Rican from the Bronx, so
Yeah,
they put us in a ball of stereotype.
yeah.
I'm way different than J-Lo. We don't even do the same music.
No, no. You've talked about integrating EDM and rock, alternative rock in your music. How do you plan on kind of doing that in your future? We see with the visuals and everything, but how do you plan on putting that more in sync with the new music?
Well, I try to like put it into like some of the sounds, like because right now we're focusing on like more like I love doing pop stuff as well,
Mhm.
but that's the stuff that kind of gets traction more. But like my own personal stuff is always it's is less poppy, is always more like alternative, rock inspired, and also hip hop. So it's kind of like just all those genres kind of like meshed together.
Mhm. And you just came off a big performance recently. I heard that this was your brother's first concert seeing you. So,
Yeah.
MSG Black Coffee. How was that experience of touching down where the Knicks play? That's a big stage.
Honestly, it was just I can't even explain it because it just happened to me, you know what I mean? And like ever since I got off that stage, it's been nonstop and I haven't had a moment, but like I it's incredible. It's a blessing. And the fact that I was able to be my little brother's first concert, I want to do more. It's put it lit a fire in my ass for sure. I want to like do it again.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be out there real soon. Do you have like some more performances lined up already, or are you kind of waiting for? Because I think I heard that you might have the album out either in February or April. Is that still the plan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're trying to plan there. And hopefully I have some performances soon. Right now I'm just doing kind of like interviews and just like I'm still in the studio, like going to the studio right after this and just like just finishing the album first.
How many songs you looking at on there? Because I know people today we're still in the quick era. You know, you got to have like a couple EP here and there. Are you looking to give us a full body of work here?
I We're doing EPs first, so
Mm,
I can gain enough traction. So when I do put out an album, I have more listeners. You know what I
okay.
mean? I would love to like attract as much people as I can. And like I've been out of it for a long time and haven't really released an EP in a while. So kind of just get my foot back into it, gravitate towards the fans that I have and new ones, and then I'm trying to do like a Chris Brown. He did like 40 songs.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then he always releases the deluxe with like 10 more on there. So
Yeah, like 100 songs.
yeah,
Like take it.
yeah. You speak about the listeners and the fans. Something that's interesting about you is that you don't look at the numbers. You kind of have a team that tells you about the numbers, and you just do it yourself.
Yeah, because if I looked at the numbers, I feel like those things, I know where my strengths are. And I know if I hear the numbers, it will hurt me. Even if
Mm.
it's great, like it doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't feel, th those things don't inspire me. It doesn't fuel my fire. It's like when people be like, oh, your song really did something for me. That's the stuff I want to hear. I don't want to hear, oh, your post didn't reach 1,000 likes today. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, what? Like that's why I'm like that. My team need to handle that because I would literally get pissed off and want to like stop everything.
Do you think that's kind of ruined the music industry in a ways because we're too caught up on numbers and you really can't tell either because a lot of people buy fake followers, buy fake likes. Do you think it's kind of ruined the art of music in this day and age?
The music industry ruined the art of music.
Mm.
I mean, that the music industry is that. You have to do that. That's the job. And I know what I signed up for. I have to do what I have to do. I'll kick and scream doing it, but it's that isn't the music industry is not music. It's numbers. It's industry. It's none of those people even know how to write a song. You know what
Mm.
I mean? They pick you up like, oh, you write a song, but can you write numbers though? And you're like, maybe. I hope. I know
Uh,
BPM, those numbers.
yeah. No, that's an interesting point. I've never heard that before, but it makes sense once you really relate it back to that. Yeah, the music industry, they don't allow you to really express your creative freedom and true artistry.
Right. I understand it too though, because they trying to make money. You know, everything is there's a good and bad in everything, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And clearly if it wasn't for the industry, a lot of people won't hear a lot of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
How was your time out in London? I heard that, with this label, they were a label early on, I think you were with that you were out in London. So how was that experience of being out there with the label?
it was amazing.
Mhm.
I That was my first time out of the country ever. And it was just like a bunch of British people. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, this is not the Bronx. But it was really cool. It was like I never got to experience college. And when I was really younger, I wanted to go to college, but my grades were so terrible that not even high school wanted me. So I got to have the college experience doing what I love. I loved it, every bit of it.
I think I did hear a veterinarian. Is that what you possibly could have done?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I love animals, but I don't think I could cut them open. So
Yeah, no, that's a little too much. Have you thought about kind of giving back to animals? I know there's a lot of like different charities out there. Is that something that interests you?
I don't want to get political, but some charities I don't know what's real or not. So I try to do my part just by like not feeding into like buying things that contain animal products. I know that's really difficult nowadays, and I know a lot of the stuff that I probably do don't help that much, but I don't eat them.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't kill them, you know what I mean? So I try my best.
Yeah, I think that that's great that you do that. And I did hear a lot of people are going more vegan now, and people got to stick by the rules. And something that you stick by, I did want to get into. You kind of keep like your own regimen or something that you write on, like a vision board or a journal. You kind of follow a routine. When did you start to do that, and when did you notice that it was working and things were manifesting in your life?
Because when I didn't have a routine, it was like a child. It's just like when I didn't have a routine, I would just do the stupidest shit. Like I would just get lit all the time, be outside, and then the next thing I know, like 4 years pass, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what did I do? And nothing, because you were just I didn't have structure. So I found comfortability in like just wake up, at least work out, knock out all the stuff that you don't want to do, and then eventually it becomes habit forming, and it's just like part of you. But just creating that structure, like even now I'm not drinking and it's like I could wake up early and work out earlier so I could actually head to my meetings and not be hungover and things like that. It really helps and it makes things faster. You get things done faster when you have a routine
No,
rather
you
than
need that.
yeah.
Schedule the file by and just everything your goals list you got to follow that and it's really important and you see how everything's manifesting this far getting discovered by Pharrell because you were posting all those covers on YouTube. What's the most important piece of advice he gave you in this industry because he's a legend?
Don't be so judgmental.
Mm,
Like when I was younger, and I'm still a victim of that, but you see people or your peers or whatever, and you're like, nah, that's whack. Or I wouldn't do that, or da, da, da. And it's just like, that's not you. Focus on yourself. Like, stop being a hater.
yeah. I think it's easy for people to be haters nowadays because of Instagram. A lot of people are measuring their success with somebody else's. What's your thoughts on kind of this? Because I know you're not big on the likes or anything, but kind of how people are altering their lifestyles to live up to something that they're not on social media.
I don't blame the people. I blame the economy. Right
Mm,
now, nobody's making money from anything. Everybody's just trying to figure out a way they can make money and survive. Like the economy is disgusting. So it's just like, why am I gonna blame the people for trying to make it when it's really the government?
mm.
Not to be deep, but people got to do what they got to do at this point. Like AI is taking over. Like might as well act like an AI. Like what else you gonna do? Like you gotta figure
Yeah.
it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why you had the whole actor strike last year because of the whole AI thing and actors not getting their pay and background actors being replaced by all the AI technology. It's crazy.
Right now we're in a situation where it's very new for everybody. So no one really knows what to do. It's like
Oh,
having a kid for the first time. Like we're all babies in this right now. So we all just trying to figure this shit out. Like it's confusing.
yeah. It is. You can't figure it out. It's always constantly changing. Just the different trends, the things with the music industry, everything. Nothing ever stays forever, and that's something that social media has definitely proven recently. But speaking of acting, I did bring up the acting industry. How much for? Because I know this is what you want to do as well. How far are you getting right now with acting? Have you started yet? Are you starting the auditions? What's going on here?
I'm not even that far.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've been so focused on just making music and like been so 100% on that. And I've had like really good opportunities, like scripts. I had Dune, I had Uncut Gems. I had that movie with J-Lo too, actually, the stripper movie.
Okay. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they flew me out and everything. I saw the direct, I was like this close. Obviously, I didn't get any of them. But that was like a time. I don't know who put me in that system. I don't know what happened, but I was getting them. And then after COVID,
Mm.
all that just disappeared. And then I don't know how to get back in there. I don't even know who put me in there to begin with.
Wow.
I mean, I really want to do it, but I don't even know how that happened.
Yeah. I've heard in the past you want Beyonce to play your life story. I think you were joking there, but what's your ideal role? What do you see yourself doing in a role?
Honestly, just anything that's like ugly and just like really showing raw emotion and just like something that really tugs the heartstrings and it is real and people can relate to. I really like those A24 back when it's more independent kind of film
Okay.
where you could just like be ugly, not really those like, not like a Marvel movie, you
Yeah.
know?
Also, like a Hereditary, is that kind of what's come out of the A24s?
I don't want to be scary, but yeah,
Okay.
Midsommar. I do love Midsommar. That it's also the same
Oh,
creator.
Midsummer. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that movie's amazing. That actress, she's phenomenal.
Crazy. Yeah, the whole cult. That was a crazy film. That's interesting. Yeah, I think the best way for you, I think people are going to spot you regardless because you're doing the modeling, which we'll get into already. The music is there, but I think if there's an agent that spots you, that's how they're going to really plug you in because then they're going to be sending you for these auditions and different things. You'll get your parts. I believe that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gonna hold
It-
on.
it's interesting to hear just when I did my research on you about the modeling thing, you kind of never thought about that you would actually be a model. Is that right? You just kind of never thought. And then all these deals, I think Pat McGrath and all this stuff that you were getting, you kind of never thought that this was going to be your reality.
Never in my life, because I mean, I used to watch America's Next Top Model when I was younger.
Mhm.
And I used to watch those girls struggle and see how skinny they were and see the everything that you had to do. And I was like, that ain't for me. And then, times change and they want different faces, different people. And I've been fortunate and blessed to have the opportunities that I have. And I honestly, like whatever God you believe in, I don't know what God I believe in, but I do believe I was blessed in the universe for all the struggling. And then there was just something there, when I needed it. And I never got things in abundance. I got it just when I needed it.
Mhm.
So it was that's what that modeling was. It's just like I was like negative in my account. And then they were like, yo, you wanna take a picture? And I was like, let's go.
Yeah. I think something that's so great about you and courageous and just you're following your true purpose is the fact that you've never even considered a 9 to 5. Now I want to applaud you for that because that's big time.
Thank you.
F the system. I agree with that. Screw it. Follow your dreams. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are doing their 9 to 5. to try to make money to either relocate or just try to fund themselves into following their dreams. But you've managed to, I mean, you've already won a Grammy for the work that you've done with Ariana Grande on her album. But look at all you've accomplished, and you don't even need a 9 to 5. That's big time.
Well, thank you.
Mhm.
I I mean, I think all of it, to be honest, like even the 9 to 5 or even what I'm doing, like I think we all are paycheck away from being homeless.
Yeah, that's true. 100%.
Cause even this creative shit, like, yeah,
It's
Grammy,
tough.
but that shit don't come with money.
No.
Like, yeah, you want an award. I'm like, can I sell it?
Melt it down.
Can I sell it? Like, how much is that? Like, you gotta pay. First of all, I don't got nothing in my hands or nothing physical because you have to pay for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, you gotta pay for your if you get like #1 or like records that you sold or whatever, you gotta pay for it because they gotta make that for you. And yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's insane. Because I saw that you got the text message once you got the Grammy with Ariana Grande's album there, but you
It
didn't
was
get the
the Black
award.
Coffee one.
Yeah, yeah. I did see. Yeah, you got the text message there,
Yeah.
but you didn't get the award. That's crazy. That's yeah. I wouldn't pay for it if they're not going to send you it.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
but that's his Grammy ultimately. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I'm just like the help.
Yeah, yeah. But now you're ready to win your own Grammys here. But I don't think accolades are accolades something. You don't strike me as the type that I feel as though it's gonna come with what you do, but I feel as though that's not what you're doing this for. Obviously, it's not what you want. You're more about expressing your artistry and making a living off of what you do and being known for it.
Yeah, now more than ever though, like now that I have a team, now I want the accolades
Mhm.
just so they can also feel like, yeah, like you know what I mean? It's like when you're alone, you're like, fuck everything, fuck the accolades, I don't care. But when you have more people helping you, you're like, nah, let's get these numbers up. Let's get these
Yeah,
accolades because it's not just me now, you know what I mean? If it was just me, I'm like, pfft. But like now I have more responsibility because I want to prove to people, everyone, that they supported me and they invested right.
yeah. And you need to have a good team around you. So tell me about your team because you're really passionate about your team. So tell me about putting your team together that's around you.
Um, well, I've said this multiple times where it's just like it feels good to be able to have a team that one won't belittle you if you
Mm,
feel like shit, if you can't do something. I mean, I still gotta do it, but they won't belittle you or make you or threaten you or just like it is more like a family. And I feel like the most successful people in the world don't do it alone and they do it in a family way, you know what I mean? Some are toxic, but it feels great to not have to be in such a fight or flight toxic environment all the time. Like if you like I just want to do what I love and do it with the people I love and that's it. Like, you know?
and you're doing it. The start is here. I mean, I feel as though that you kind of just reinvented yourself in a way with somebody else because it's climbing up the charts on Billboard. It's going crazy. The radios are playing them everywhere. Talk to me the first time you heard it played on the radio because I know it was a big moment for you.
I heard it on my way to a radio interview
Mm.
on the radio on Sirius, and then I was doing my makeup
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't ready, and just I couldn't even hear the song because everybody was screaming so.
Wow.
I was just like, and they're like, "Wow," and I'm just like, yo, yeah. The radio station even thought something bad happened outside. They didn't even let me
Crazy.
scream. They were screaming so loud. I was like, all right, guys, chill.
Somebody else. Let's get into this backstory behind this. It's obvious based off of real life here, but what's kind of who is this scumbag that you're talking about in the song?
Damn, I'm gonna have to start saying names because it's funny as hell. Well, it's funny because it was actually a buildup, and this one guy got the wrath. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, I just got out of a crazy 5-year relationship, and then I started dating again after like 5 years. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I met this guy, and then he was talking about having kids with me and everything. He was like a psycho, and I was just like, bro, you leaving me on red and shit, like for a week. Like you're not doing good. So I wrote that song. Like, an
Wow.
hour.
That's insane when you think about it, because it's crazy how there's been a strand of artists talking about relationships with me lately. It's been boom, 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 one right after the other. But I mean, when people do that, the communication issues, really, because you just said that I can't deal with people that have communication issues. I can't deal with it. It
Like,
just
be
was,
honest.
yeah,
Just be honest. Like, what do you want for real? Oh, you just want to fuck? All right, just talk. But
yeah.
use words, bro. Like, you good? Like, or you're nuts. Like,
You got to stay away from people like that. As soon as the communications are a red flag, when you're not a good communicator and you're a genuine person, that person that's not communicating, cut them off.
like, come on. Like, we all on our phones so much. And even like, you don't have to talk to me every second of every day. You know what I mean? But get it together.
Exactly. And you know what? When you're the public figure, you're the catch. So that guy's a scrub, right? And you're the kid. You were the catch, and he was playing games. So he lost. See you later. And he inspired your new hit single, somebody else, and you're gonna be on to somebody else.
You know what? He actually did make me go on to somebody else. It
Yeah.
was
See.
perfect.
Oh, but now that's climbing the charts on Billboard. What's the follow up here? Are you? Because I know you said you want to do an EPs, but do you have a single ready? You have something in mind already?
Yeah, I have. You there?
Oh, it
Oh,
kind of
sorry.
froze up a little bit. Yeah. So
You're just like,
there you go. See, you're a good actor. You're a good actor. See, what's the follow up single there?
it's a self-titled song, Maxine. But
Okay.
it's a playoff of, and let me tell you about this girl. Her name is Maxine. That's what I'm saying.
Shakademus and Pliers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. I like that spin, and we actually there you go. I like that.
Thank you.
Classic. Yeah, that's gonna be a big one. That's gonna be yeah. How does your parents feel now that you're finally receiving all the fruits of your labor now? You're getting played on the radio, Billboard charts, because your mom wanted to be the singer. She was in the salsa band, but she said that you were going to be a singer. She heard you singing at a young age, and she knew, and she kind of was just like, that's what you're going to do. And then you determined for yourself that that's the career you were going to choose. So how are your parents feeling about this journey right now?
The thing is, like, they're so used to it. Like, even if I sang in an auditorium to one person, they're like, "Oh my God!" Like, so for this, it's just like, yeah, I already know. You know what I mean? Like, they've always celebrated me, like, since I was a kid, which is why I'm doing this, because I've had support from
Mhm.
my parents, thank God, because this is a lonely road and I was able to have support.
You've spoken about it, just having the deal. It's more, you're more on the downside than the wins, and you just got to roll with it.
Yeah. I mean, once you big, people are only going to see the wins. But of course, with every win, there's so much fails. There's so much. And I mean, it's not all fails. I have some wins and then you get up. And then, you know what I mean? So
And social media does that to you as well, because people only come around for your wins, and when you're down, it's like, screw
even
you.
the
Yeah.
algorithm's a bitch. I hate it. It's like, mm, nah, I'm not putting that on the feed. And you're like, but I worked really hard on that.
Yeah.
Fine.
Now, are there times you wish we would go back to the day and age where we just didn't have Instagram? Because I feel as though you would still thrive, because you know what you want to do, and it would show the real people, because the real talent would shine. You have talent, so all these fake wannabe people, they'd be gone, and who knows, working a regular 9 to 5.
I mean, there's days I do wish that every social media platform would explode.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just for my mental health. So I could be like, oh, thank God. So I don't have to post or nothing. Like, oh my God. That's a job in its own.
Yeah.
People who really are into it and really put their foot in that shit, I'm like, they really working. 'Cause I hate it.
It's too much.
It's a lot. And
Yeah.
then seeing it and everybody, like, it's also too much people, like, too much positivity, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Like, it's a bit too much. It's a bit like ego feeding, like, it's like
That's
weird.
interesting. A lot of people I talk to when it comes to Instagram, they talk about negativity. You're talking positivity. That's different.
I mean, because it could be sometimes too much is bad, even
It
if
is
it's
bad,
the
yeah,
good stuff.
regardless of which,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like feeding like your thing in your head where it's like, yes, bitch, slay, I love you. And you're like, yes. Like you're feeding the
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then when you don't have it, you're like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
That's why it's just like sometimes it's bad because it's like that addicting. And if like you post something and it's not, you don't get that same kind of response, you're like, oh my God, I did something wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Like a toxic relationship. That's what this is.
Yeah. And then you move on to somebody else. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. I move on to Twitter, and then you're like, "Ugh, this is horrible. Elon ruined it."
Yeah. But I heard you want to work with Megan, Cardi, Nicki. Those are kind of like the big three. And anybody else in mind besides those three? And any like kind of like 90s legends or artists outside the box like that are in alternative rock?
Actually, I've worked with the Machine from Florence and the Machine.
Okay.
It's so funny because I say I want to work with those people because I'm not in I don't have connections to like mainstream pop
Mhm.
world, but I do have connections with the more like in I mean Florence and the Machine is not indie, but alternative like world. And I'm actually good friends with them. I worked with you know the Sneaker Pimps?
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard.
It's more of like a trip hop, like London band.
Yeah.
Worked with them a lot and just more of like the trip hop world.
Yeah.
Like I did a cover of Portishead Glory Box.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. No, there's a lot of big things in your future, and 2024. What do you think this year is going to bring to you? What are you working for this year? I mean, you got the EPs, acting something you want to get into, the modeling's continue, but what's 2024? What's the ultimate thing that you feel as though this is going to be a leap year for you? What are you feeling right now?
I'm gonna actually put my whole foot in this shit. Cause
Mm,
like before I was like in and out, you know what I mean? And I was 100% always doing music, but I was just letting my other things get in the way, too much personal life. This time I'm really gonna stay focused and really see how far it gets me to just be on it, you know?
yeah, that's important. I heard you say that. That's especially why you kind of didn't want to venture off into other things, even though you're talented in so many different avenues. You're big on focusing on one thing. You can't have all these distractions. So you got it.
Yeah, let me do this right now. I
Yeah.
mean, well, I'm not saying no to anything else either. If it comes, I'm definitely doing it.
Yeah.
So
When are we getting Maxine? When are we getting this track, you think?
I see my label over there, Sneakies. But I want to do it like tomorrow.
You want
But
to do it tomorrow
yeah, but I think they saying probably like end of
in
February,
February?
End of
maybe.
February, beginning of March.
Oh, see?
Okay. Thank you.
Broad face, but she knows the voice.
Yeah.
End of February. There you go.
There we
Yeah.
go. We got the answer there. But
Nice photo, Max.
yeah.
Thank you. I scrubbed up for you.
uh but what's something else we mentioned the charities you want to speak about, with the animals? We talked about that already. The movies, the modeling. What's something else you kind of got in the safe that people may not know about that you want to do?
Hmm. Well, I mean, eventually I want to start helping artists myself and signing
Mm.
artists and doing that whole situation. But once I got my foundation sturdy and strong enough so I could help other artists too.
That's big, and you recognize, because when you came into the interview, you talk about the music industry is ruining the music. You spoke about it right there. So I feel as though when you start signing artists, you're gonna want to be promoting these people that and not taking away from their creative freedom, letting them just express themselves, and that's real. Not a lot of people want to do that.
I mean, the best ones that really make it are the ones that are not so cookie cutter if you really look at it.
Yeah,
Ones that are always against the grain. I'm gonna look at the most rebellious one and be like, all right, yeah, come on. You're gonna win.
yeah,
You got this.
yeah, yeah. And you got to have that mold, and look how far it's gotten you. And you're on the bigger and better things. Maxine Ashley, is there anything else you would love to let your fans know? Anything else that we didn't touch on here tonight?
Um, I don't know.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think you did an amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you.
For all the research. Like, you did great. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I did say all that like recently too.
Yeah. I read up on you. I read up on the. I know you weren't happy about the whole J-Lo comparison, but screw that article that did that.
Right? I didn't even see, I don't read articles too either. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
because I was on there reading. I do about probably like 6 to 8 hours of research on each person I interview. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I read a lot.
I'm like, damn, that was recent too. Like,
Yeah.
did amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I always make sure to give whoever my guest is a great interview because it just shows a lack of respect. And if you're really about it, like Master P, a lot of them are fake and posers. We know,
Yeah.
we know who the industry supports, but we're not going to get that too deep. But
So, but drop that.
you already know. But you're doing your own thing here. Let them know where they can follow you on Instagram, Twitter, all the platforms you want them to know. All the fans, the fans are following you already, but the new followers, where they can keep in touch with you.
Just at Maxine Ashley on all platforms. And MaxineAshley.com if you want updates. We're still working on that website. It's a little ugly right now, but it'll get pretty eventually.
Website update coming soon.
Website update coming soon.
The bigger stage is than MSG. Is there a bigger stage? I mean, I can only think of like maybe something overseas. MSG is
festivals, right?
Yeah, festivals.
Probably festivals, yeah. And I never, it's crazy because I never actually, like before that, I've never really performed like that. It's always really smaller kind of venues, really smaller things, never did festivals. Like I'm a studio rat, I'm a studio artist, I haven't really been much outside like I want to be, which is something that I'm changing for this year and the years to come. But doing that, like just ripping the Band-Aid off and be like, yo, Madison Square Garden. I was like, okay. Hey. Throwing up. So the day I did it until I finished. And then I fucking drank champagne.
Yeah, you got to pop the champagne.
Yeah,
you had to. That's a lifetime. You've achieved a lot of things that already that artists don't achieve for years and years to come. And now it's sky. I know they always say because of Biggie, sky's the limit. I get it, but people always say, how could you say sky's the limit when people have been to the moon? It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very true.
Space is the limit.
Yeah, 100%. That somebody else available on all platforms. Maxine coming soon. EP coming soon. Maxine Ashley, thank you for coming on the show again. Anytime you want to come back on the show, you're always welcome. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Andres, of course, your management here. Maximilian. Hey, we got the same name too, Max.
Oh, your name's Max too?
Yeah.
Oh, this is all Max's in the room.
It's all Max. Look at this.
Yeah. Start a Max podcast.
Yeah, exactly. The Max.
We'll get canceled. So much.
Max and Allison are here. I'm listening on Max's channel.
Okay. Oh, thank you to everyone. I hope that, of course, Andrea. Thank you.
Great interview.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And she's always welcome on the show. Anytime you guys need anything from me, you're always good on my end. I got your new single in my rotation. Keep doing your thing, and I look forward to seeing what you achieve next. Of course.
Thank you so much for the support and the great interview.
Of course. Anytime, Maxine. Enjoy the rest of your night, all right?
You too. Bye. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Great interview.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.